good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to today's presentation, Digitisation of Business, Roadmaps and Action Plan. I am Elizabeth from Enterprise Asia, and thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us here today in our Room to Infinity series. Room to Infinity series is a series of entrepreneurial sharing sessions to educate business and empower youth on thought-provoking topics, promoting entrepreneurship in the process. Room to Infinity series is actually an initiative run by Enterprise Asia Center for Entrepreneurship, which is a joint collaboration between Enterprise Asia and Help University, a leading institution of higher learning in Malaysia, and is the first private university in Southeast Asia to achieve 5 stars in 8 categories in the 2020 QS Stars University ratings. And this joint partnership is to accelerate the growth of entrepreneurs in Malaysia and also across Asia. So here we are today with Christopher Ng, CEO of PanPages TRINITY. Hi, Christopher. So let me briefly introduce Christopher. Christopher has worked with thousands of SMEs throughout Southeast Asia for the past 15 years. He provides consultations and digital marketing solutions to allow them to compete in a global open markets. So Christopher had led PanPages TRINITY to become the first Malaysian partner of Alibaba.com, a Google Premier SME partner, and a certified partner of Facebook. So PanPages TRINITY has become the leading provider of digital marketing offerings under his leadership. His passion is to utilize his abilities to help SMEs meet their business growth and achieve success through e-commerce and digital marketing. So today's live talk, Christopher will be sharing with us on digital journey for your business. He will walk us through on how to develop a long-term digital marketing framework and evaluating your model as well as understanding trends and seasons. So before we begin, I'd like to address this to the audience that we'll be running a live Q&A at the end of the presentation. As you're watching this from Facebook live streaming, if you have any question at all, just pop them in there. And right now, without further ado, let's hear from Christopher.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Hi, guys. Hope all of you are staying safe. Let me share my screen now. All right. So, thank you for having me. It's definitely a great opportunity for me to share my experience with the young generation, the students of Help University, our next generation of leaders and entrepreneurs. So thank you so much for having me. PanPages TRINITY, we have been working very hard to evangelize the importance of digital to the micro, small and medium enterprises. We help SMEs to go online in Malaysia, Vietnam, Thailand, and Cambodia, and we continue to do so even during this time of pandemic. So today I'm going to walk you all through a little bit on the Digital Marketing 101. I'm sure many of the students, you all know or studied about the digital marketing part. Today I would like to share some of the experience and some of the framework of how we actually use digital marketing to help our SME clients. I hope that you all can pick up some 1 or 2 key takeaways today. Maybe today I start with a trivia session to liven things up a bit. So you can actually comment on the site and see if you can answer those questions. Okay, you can try just a couple of questions to start the session. All right, ready? Okay. How many times averagely in the day we check our phones? Yep. Try to answer those questions. Yeah. How many times in a day we check our phones? $100. More than that, 5, 50, 20. Well, the answer is averagely 150 times. And this is a data that we have before the pandemic. I think now we should be slightly even more averagely, 160, 170 probably, as so many times averagely, yeah. All right, ready for the second trivia question? Okay, what is the number 2 search engine in the world? Number 1 is Google, obviously. Number 2 search engine in the world. The number 2 search engine in the world now. Wow. Some say Baidu, Yahoo, right? Yahoo. Well, it's actually YouTube. Okay, some of you will be, what? Is YouTube a search engine? Well, as a matter of fact, now the younger generations, they rather watch than read, right? So they go to, let's say, example, you want to buy a car or buy a gadget. You go search in YouTube, this gadget. There'll be tons of video about reviews of the gadget or comparison of these cars or the products or the service, or how to, how do you fix this, how do you fix that, how do you write a resume, all can be found in YouTube. So it's just the content format is different, but it becomes like a search engine now, right? Okay, next trivia. How many monthly login users are there in YouTube? Okay, the tip is more than the populations of China, USA, and Brazil combined. How many? I'll guess. Right? A million, billions. So, any more guesses? YouTube. Monthly logged-in users. There are actually a lot of people who are not logged in YouTube. 5 billion, 1 million, 2.5 billion. Well, Nicholas Chin is quite close. 1 billion, 6 billion. Wow, Li Lai Mei. The whole earth. Cody. Well, actually, the answer is 2 billion monthly login users, right? Huge, right? So basically, YouTube, the video content will be dominating the traffic in the internet. And we have a lot of reports from Google knowing that it's even higher in the APAC region, which is Asia Pacific. Somehow, Asia Pacific people or Asians are more likely to consume video content than the rest of the world. And it's growing. Video content is growing. So, yep, just a short trivia just to liven things up. But from that trivia, we can also know that few things, right? Mobile is the way to go, right? Mobile is the gadget or the channel that you want to use in digital marketing. Video formats as well. So these are the few ideas that you can pick up from trivia. So I'll dive in another slide, which is talking about the evolution of social media channels. So many years ago, during my time, maybe 20 years ago, we have the likes of Friendster. I think many of the students here, you all won't even know what's Friendster, or Multiply, IRC, High Five, MySpace, Orkut, Flickr, right? So these few platforms like Friendster or Flickr or High Five or MySpace has dominated the social media arena. And during maybe 2008, we see a rise of Facebook, and then YouTube came into play. And then you can see in this region now, WhatsApp, WeChat from China, and Tumblr, Pinterest, Snapchat. So the channels and technology changes throughout time. So it is definitely harder for us marketers to keep up without understanding the fundamentals. The thing is, it can be much more complex compared to the old days, right? But the core of digital marketing or the core of marketing still remains the same. By understanding our target audience, where they are, how to engage them, how to have a conversation with them, it's still the same core. Just that the platform keep on changes, right? The popularity of platform keep on changes. Who knows later on, Facebook go down, another thing coming up. Now, my children or my nephew and nieces who are in the teens, they say that, oh, Facebook is for old people, right? I'm sure many of you heard of that comment before. And for students, so you see the rise of TikTok, right? TikTok, where I can see it will be a sharp shoot up. And of course, the usage of YouTube and Instagram for the younger generation. So platform changes, but the core focus of digital marketing is still the same. However, to understand this further, we need to understand the consumer buying cycle. Like how does it affects the buyers? How do people buy now? How is it different really from back in the days before the internet? So during my time, I started off in the Yellow Pages industry, and back then the print was the Google. You see, when you need to search for businesses or products or service, you go to the Yellow Pages, the directories or the magazines, right? And then with the rise of the internet, then we knew that Yellow Pages is going to be a sunset. So we went and develop or also get involved into a lot of this kind of digitization because our clients are mainly all SMEs. So I was very lucky enough to understand how the consumer buying cycle has changed. So basically, back then, the traditional three-step mental model, which is before the internet, you have a stimulus, the first moment of truth, and then the second moment of truth. So stimulus is when you get the awareness, like suddenly you know that there is this service or this product that you need. The first moment of truth is when you see the particular product on the shelf or when you see it in the shop. The second moment of truth comes when you experience the product, you buy it and then you experience it. So that is what we call the three-step mental model. Then with the internet, it became a new mental model, the zero moment of truth, right? So it slaps in between the stimulus moment and the first moment of truth. Now the first moment of truth is when people do the research, reviews or comments, and you do your multiple comparison. That's what we call the zero moment of truth. Zero moment of truth is done online, usually, right? And it's also correlated to the second moment of truth when people are already experiencing that product or that service, then they comment or they review online or they share it on the social media. So that also populates back to the zero moment of truth moments. So it is parallel for digital marketers like us to, the battlefield is actually in the zero moment of truth, trying to fight in that arena itself, to get noticed, to get preference. And of course, the the buying journey has changed already. So there's you can go online reviews or online videos, display ads, banners and all that's pushing to you in social media, sponsored articles and all, mobile ads, and of course also view in store, in shopping malls and all before the pandemic. And you either purchase in store or you purchase online. So that is how the consumer has changed their pattern of buying. Having said that, it also depends. Like now we see that during the pandemic, with the movement control order, the restrictions of going out, there's also a difference between this whole journey. The buyer journey has changed a little bit again. And my team done some research, and of course, together with some of our partners like Google and Alibaba, we got some data from to study a little bit on China's economy because they were the first who got affected by the pandemic. And currently now they are also recovering from this pandemic. So we do see how the economy has shifted in the China market. And what was the market response to that? So we saw that this very significant thing, which is the buying journey has accelerated, means it's shortened, it's fastened, right? Consumers are being more impatient, because there's so much noise everywhere. There's so many information, and we're getting information overload. And so back then, the decision making was longer, because it's like, you know, the full like zero moment of truth kind of a model, where you have you discover your product online, then you search for relevant information of the product, you establish interest on your product, then you research the reviews of dive into the product's reviews, then only you make a purchase, right? Either offline or online. After the pandemic now, it's very short. The decision making is shorter. Now it's so much information, so much content everywhere. It's content marketing. People are using influencer marketing, getting people who have the big fan base to promote their products or service, ads, advertising on Facebook, Google, or Insta, everywhere, right? And of course, the new thing now is live stream marketing. They've always been here, just that the pandemic just suddenly shot it up. And now you see every day there's live sessions like today, like now, right? But there are many people also trying to use live stream to market their product, to sell online straight away, to get leads, to get conversion. And it plants the seed and generate those interests, and ultimately make a purchase online and get delivered. So the buying journey has been accelerated tremendously. And all the interesting data that we found is the top 3 channels that the time spent is much more, which of course, obviously is the internet, right? Short video clips, browsers, people spend more time in browsers, and online video streaming as well. So these are the few top channels that people are spending a lot of time. And the top channels for different age groups. So you can see, based on this last 2 months, we see that the Gen Z, the millennials, the Gen Y, the Gen X, where they spend their time in, what are the channels? So online gaming, right? I hope not all the students are playing games at home, but the data shows that online gaming sector is the channel is booming. Social media, of course, and online videos, right? As for the Gen Ys, millennials, education app, social media, and online videos. And of course, the Gen X or Gen Ys, e-commerce portal, the browsers, and the news portals. So these are the top few channels according to the age group. And the top e-commerce category during this pandemic, of course, fresh food, right? Daily you have people searching for it. Food items, supplements, packaging, games, furniture, and so forth, right? So these are the top few. Of course, there are also other categories that's booming in certain geographical area. So it's important that we know that the pandemic has changed us to a new norm, and it will continue to change even after the movement control order is lifted. It will continue to change, because there will still be a lingering, I wouldn't say fear, I would say more of awareness, or you won't be so daring, or you won't just go out to large crowds and all so fast, right? You take some time. So there are a lot of leaders in the world is expecting to be until at least end of the year, or beginning next year. So that is one thing that the digital marketers like us will need to be aware of, and see how we can actually cut off all this noise and be able to still continue effectively target our audience. So the digital marketing fundamental is important. Why? Because no matter what season or what channels that you use, or what content format that you choose to promote the businesses, it's important that you still understand that the base is still the same, whereby first you need to understand who are your target audience, who you want to target in the first place, who you want to speak to, right? Who are the people that you want to reach out to, right? Who are the people who have a higher percentage of need in terms of your products or your service, right? And once you know your target audience, then you have to figure out what are your value proposition to them. What are the gain creators? Like, how do you create gains for people, for your audience? How do you actually relieve their pain? We call pain relievers. Relieve their pain, right? Or what are the services or products that you have to either do gain creators or pain relievers? With that value propositions, then you choose, and you knowing your target audience, then only you choose your channels. Like, what channel should you use? Is it social media? Is it search? Is it YouTube? Where? LinkedIn? Where is the correct channel? Where are your target audience at? And then only you choose the content format. What are the content formats? Is it going to be blogs, long copyrights, or is it going to be a lot of photos and GIFs? Is it going to be video format? Right. So having said that, you need to be able to really know your audience first. And the best people has always been the business owners or the people who are in the particular business, right? And it's important also to understand how you put all these key elements together and form a framework. So I like to use this this burger analogy, right? So example like Filet-O-Fish and beef burger, right? So the key differentiator of the two burgers is the patty, right? That's why it's named by beef burger and Filet-O-Fish, right? So the patty itself is like your meat, your target audience. That's your meat, your strategy, the meat of your strategy. So how you identify those few audience group and their buying journey. So who are they first? So that's the patty. Then after that, you mix the condiments to supplement the patty, right? So like Filet-O-Fish, you use tartar sauce. Beef burger, you put maybe pickles and lettuce, right? So it adds the texture and variety to your strategy. So which is your unique selling point, right? What are the unique selling points that you have that directly communicates and gives a value to your audience, right? What are the pain relievers, gain creators, right? And then after you have those, then you want to be able to put all this together, creating content pillars. What are the content that is relevant or consistent to make your audience stick to your brand, right? So it has to be a consistent content journey for your audience to follow you. And after you have that gooey, cheesy, sticking together all your patties and your condiments, then you add the sauce in. Your personality and tone. What is the flavor of your brand? What is the flavor of your business, right? So a good example is like Nike and Adidas, right? So they both have sportswear. They both produce almost the same products, right? Right, shoes, sportswear, fashion, and whatnot. But they're also very different in terms of their, what you call it, digital strategy, right? So like Nike, they sponsor a lot of athletes, right? Nike sponsors winners and champions of the sports. Then Adidas sponsors like celebrities, hip hop singers and all. So it's more fashionable, more hip. So there's this different personality and tone, you see. And after you have all those put together, then only you put in the digital channels, the platforms that you use for your content strategy. And how do you hold those content together? So that's like the burger. And the burger is the same, right? Mostly the same, right? So channels are just there for you to use. So you need to know your audience first, then only you decide on the channels. And important part is that in every aspect of this, you need to track every stage of this marketing funnel, from the awareness stage to the consideration stage to your purchasing stage to your loyalty stage. So, example, if 100,000 people are aware of your product, not all of them, maybe just 50,000 of them will be under the consideration stage. And let's say out of the 50,000 who's considering you, not all of them will purchase from you. Maybe another half, let's say, 25,000. And not all who purchase from you will return as your customer again, become your loyal customers, or become even better, your raving fans, people who go out and sell for you, people who recommend and review good, your fans. So that is the digital marketing funnel, which you have to track in every stage, right? Of course, the perfect condition is the funnel will look like a square, but it's never going to happen. So it's always like this, right? So each stage you need to track and you need to optimize it so that you have a better conversion on each stage. By doing, how do you do so? Is by understanding the buying journey, each layer. You need to nurture it and create what we call a data bank, right? A data bank, your community, and push it down the funnel. By understanding your buyer's journey, it will be very helpful. Like example, let's take Ahmad, okay? Back then, before the MCO, before the pandemic, right? So this is his buying journey. So during the awareness stage, so he went to Google to search for top budget gaming console. Then he read an article in a display ad in technobuffalo.com, right? And he's still in awareness stage. Then he browsed in Facebook and see companies offering Nintendo Switch console, right? And then he read good reviews about those gaming consoles in Facebook, or people have been sharing it and saying that all the services of the company is very good. So he's still at the awareness stage. Then he moved into the consideration stage, where he goes into visit the website and learn about the company background. Then he visits the store to find out about the console. Or then after that, suddenly he realized that, hey, wherever I go online, it's being targeted already. It's called remarketing. So you go to Facebook, you see the ads, the company is pushing the Nintendo Switch to him. He goes to YouTube, he see a short bumper ad. Now he was watching people playing the game in Nintendo Switch. And Instagram also is seeing stories of targeting him, right? Then after that, okay, he makes a decision. I want to buy it. So either he go to the e-store to buy, or he visit the company website to give an inquiry to the company, or he will probably just walk into the store, right? So that's his buying journey. So we have to understand that. So each of these stages, as digital marketers, we need to track. Okay, so let's say example for the awareness stage. So monthly Nintendo Switch searches in Malaysia is 254,000, right? Okay, so to get 100% share of voice of this, you need to spend, our marketers, optimizers, we call campaign ninjas. They will calculate and tabulate what is the cost per click, cost for cost per impression. So they tabulate 22,000, right, to get the 100% share of voice. But not everybody, 254,000 people who are searching for Nintendo Switch will actually land on the company's website. Okay, so let's say we take a conservative 5%, right? About 5%. So 12,700 visits to their website. So if you take this 12,700 and you divide 22,000, so you know that actually it's $1.73 per website visit. So not all of them in the consideration stage will actually give your inquiry or go to the store visit or buy online, right? Or give the inquiry first. So another few more percent, then 1,600 store visits or 1,600 inquiries on the web. Then so you take 1,600 divided by 22,000, so it's $13 per inquiry. So not all of them who inquire will actually really transact and buy from you. So out of that, 15% of it, so 248 sales. So per sale is $88 per sale, cost per sale. So that's how roughly you track that, right? So after after this pandemic, now it's shortened already. The accelerated buyer's journey has been shortened. So the path to Nintendo Switch funnel is a little bit different. So Ahmad saw some sponsored articles, display ads, and read about while he's reading what to do during MCO, bored, nothing to do. Then he saw, there's this Nintendo Switch and these games. He clicked on the sponsored content, then he browsed Facebook and see the company page and check the latest updates and promotions of the product offering, right? He turns to YouTube and other pages to check the review and see what other people are talking about it and how are the reviews. Then he moved straight into the buying stage already, which is after he read all the reviews and all, you go to visit the site, make an inquiry, try to buy it on the e-store, right? So that's a shortened and accelerated buyer's journey now. And to look at top funnel down, it's same amount to get the 100% share of voice, but then it's lesser stages already. So of course now we can see also a rise in terms of online transaction. People can't go out, so of course they use the online to transact. So it's a little bit higher in terms of percent. So the point is you need to track every stages of the funnel. And the idea is you want to optimize each stages. So if it's now it's 5% on in terms of converting awareness to consideration, another maybe 15% to convert the consideration to sales. So you need to be able to increase those percent. So say from 5%, you want to say, okay, next quarter we need to make sure that is double it, double the transaction, double the conversion, right? So that's how you need to be understanding this. So you need to track digital marketing, you need to track every stage. And of course, how do you optimize it? How do you improve those conversions? You have to understand the consumers now, how they behave nowadays. You have to test the market, of course, nurture the market, and improve every stage of conversion. The three elements, which is you need to, the consumers are curious, they are demanding now because there's so much options for them now, right? And they are impatient. So you need to be able to provide micro moments, right? Micro moments and winning the micro moments. So like I want to know moments, I want to go moments, I want to do moments, I want to buy moments. These are the micro moments too, so that they can have a better conversion in your entire funnel. And of course, how do you do that is by having a full framework, a full plan of what you want to do. Where is your target audience? How you want to capture them, right? So there's the paid marketing piece. There's also the content marketing where you do article sharing, live videos and all, and you run those ads. And of course, you push it all to your landing page, which is all the call to action, like your shopping carts, your e-commerce, your website, or your phone calls to your salespeople. So that's how you should do it. But also, having said that, you also have to understand the search trend. What are the search trends that differs from time to time? So just to share a little bit, like the Malaysia search trend, you need to know where your audience are, what are the value proposition. So after that, you also have to understand the search trends. How would they react to different seasons of time? So let's say example like Merdeka, as you see year on year, there's a rise in terms of you doing Merdeka promotions. So we did one client kitchen equipment. So it's very creatively done. They use all their kitchen equipment colors, they pair it to a Malaysian flag, and then they run a 100 years promotion, right? And it did very, very well, right? It was really a good team, and it was a good conversion. They were very, very happy. They also, you have to understand the different seasons, different campaigns. So let's say example, if you know that Malaysians pre-plan for Christmas, right? So 1 or 2 months before, you have to have what you call your launches or your blackout period to populate your community, to populate, to nurture the community, to prepare that, okay, this is coming up, coming soon, right? So you do a lot of this kind of campaign, we call the blackout period, the launches. And of course, simultaneously the entire year, you still use your evergreen content, right? Your day-to-day about your company's value proposition, who you are and why what is your brand value and things like that. And of course, New Year and year end, right? So you can see like some of our clients, like the gym clients, right? Gym equipment or gym clients, fitness clients. They usually, the year end will be the main focal point. Is where they push all their marketing budget and their time into doing that. Why? Because most people, New Year resolution, this year is it, I'm going to change my life, I'm going to be fit, I'm going to be healthy, right? So year end, you have to be aiming at them, preparing them. So the consumers today will be, like I said, curious, demanding, and impatient. So having said that, you need to make sure that those content that you put in, or the brand value that you represent, the value proposition has to really cover these points. And winning the micro moments is very important. And let's say example like impatient. So you need to make sure that the speed of your website, the speed of your blogs and all will be good. After a few seconds, people don't like it anymore. People just bounce out and go to another place. So brand search term, you can do a simple audit of your brand, search and see what pops up. Are your digital assets, we call digital assets online, is it all belongs to the company? Or how to make sure that your websites are optimized? Is it indexable? Is it searchable online? And whether it's mobile friendly, because we already know mobile is the way to go. It's important. So is it mobile optimized? Let's say example like the design or the content of the mobile version has to be suited to a person who is actually using a phone, and it cannot be too many words and too small, right? And all those kind of mobile optimized methods. And of course, website loading speed is important. Website social card, this is also quite important because let's say example, your salespeople or the people that you want to share your website to should have a proper introduction card like that. So many companies like our clients don't have. And Google Analytics tab. So this is one of the many data that you can track, and Google Analytics is one of the most basic. So many of the clients that we have before they were clients, they didn't even have like this tab that embedded into their website. So you won't know how your website is performing, who is seeing your website, who is actually coming to your website, where they browse through and all. So you won't know the behavior, you won't know where's the flow like. For example, from where they come from, and then after that, which page did they go to, how long are they there for, right? There's some, like what are the bounce rate like, means if they come to your website after how many seconds and then they bounce out, which pages they go to, the page session is how long. So all these are important data, because without data, you won't be able to retarget or optimize those campaigns. You need to know how is the market reacting to your campaigns, right? So let's say example like this client, he only focused in Malaysia, local market. But however, he saw like some based on the analytics, they saw some overseas traffic coming in, and the bounce rate is very high. It means people come first page, then go off. So you say, hey, actually, I also want to target China and Indonesia. What do I do? So first, you need to understand: is it because of the language content? Is it because the layout is not the local preference, or you really need to make sure that you publish the site on the local domain so you get to optimize your result in terms of the search engine. So after you analyze this and you try it off, and then you say, okay, let me refine. Can we retarget this to the specific markets or geographical markets? Then you use interest targeting or location targeting to retarget them. And from there, you launch your campaign in local language. And then, we have clients or partners in Australia who specifically want to target Indonesia. And instead of having an Indonesian team in Indonesia targeting Indonesians, they actually hire some Indonesian expats in Australia, or students who from Indonesia come to study in Indonesia, study in Australia. And this Australian company will hire them and then create the landing pages and create content for Indonesia through these Indonesian expats. So it works very well, and conversion definitely is better when you go hyper local. Right? Another example of Google Analytics, how we help our clients. So one of our clients, they have many billboards everywhere, right? So we help them put like a specific tagline in their billboard, so that we try to track and see how many of these kind of special tagline that people search after they see the billboard. So of course, this is not 100% sure that whether the billboard works or not, but at least to give you a gauge, right? A gauge. So we saw through the analytics, these are the areas where they are the top converters. So from there, the company can actually make a decision and say, hey, there's no searches at all in the whole vicinity of Puchong. Maybe our billboards or our target audience is not so suitable there. Pull it down. So that's how they can save in terms of marketing dollars. And of course, connection and making sure that your website is foolproof lah. So the security part as well is also very important. So understanding that whole the framework, understanding the base of digital marketing, then you need to plan out what you're going to do, right? So how you're going to plan out your whole ecosphere. So there's a few phases. First, you do your research and develop your direction. So you can do the we call discovery period. Then you define your unique selling point, your audience group, define your competitor analysis, your brand state, right? Then only you start to develop which target audience for which season, what is your value proposition, what is the content pillars, the personality and tone, then the digital channels. So from there, you start your structure in your content marketing, like whether your operational proficiency, is it okay? Who are the roles? What are the workflows? How to scale? How to allocate the headcounts? What are the resources and budgets that you need to put in? And of course, how to framework your content strategy, your content pillars, your platform strategies, your audience avatars, and the visual and the style to give you the personality and tone. Then only you start your execution, right? So of course, developing the web, manage those projects. If you want to produce videos, or designs, or editorial, or social media management, those are production. Then you run those ads, right, to optimize, making sure that enough people can see see who you are, where you are, what your value propositions are. Remarketing, media buy, all these are under digital ads. And of course, you have to analyze those data by social listening, collecting data wrangling, analyzing those data, and then you conclude, and then you re-strategize further and further, you optimize it. And of course, to plan out, you should have a timeline of what you want to do, and to report and review from time to time. So it is important that you look into the campaigns and see how the market is reacting, how can you further optimize each stages of the funnel. And of course, sometimes if you find the right time in the season, you can do, as the star shows there, is what we call the launches or your blackout seasons, right? Your focus point, your promos, right? And not only that, you also need to look at your model. So what is going to be your model? Most of our clients started off with SMEs, they started off with 100% agency managed. I don't know anything about digital marketing. You fully help me. You all just run the whole thing for me, right? And of course, the best model I prefer, I think is better, it works for the SMEs, are the hybrid models where you have one headcount or one or two headcount or small team of marketing people that can actually work with agencies, right? So I always help my clients to develop. We can even go to the level of developing those their internal talents, right? Even to the extent of helping them go through shortlist their candidates. So the model is also very important, whereby hybrid, whether you can do some of the work and then you outsource most of the part to the agencies or the experts. Some larger companies, medium-sized companies, they do wider in-housing with embedded partner support team. So they just outsource certain parts out to the experts, right? And an internal team, a larger marketing team will be able to gauge and will be able to control the entire advisory part. And there are some companies, of course, total independence, all just rely on internal talents, right? A lot of startups are like that. My session, I think a little bit more than 30 minutes. The key takeaways is platform changes through time, but the base is still similar. And you need to know your audience digital journey so that you can optimize and track every stage of your funnel. And if you know the seasons and the trends, then you can win micro moments even better. And of course, to develop a long-term framework and to evaluate your model, which model works for you in the longer run. Of course, you can change those models from time to time later on, but to have like a structure done there first, so that you understand that how your entire journey of digitalization, digital marketing will be better and better and better. So you need to know with the data. So that is very important to make sure that data is there, right? So, well, do go on a data-driven digital performance marketing journey. And I'm glad to share even more insights or during the Q&A. If you have any questions at all, of course, do blast here. I've already seen so many questions there waiting for me. So, yep, that's my presentation. That's my sharing. Back to Elizabeth. Oh, a lot of questions there. Let's see.
Thank you, Christopher. So we're now going to address some of the questions here. Okay, we have one from Irene Koo. What's the difference between Tabula and Google Display Ads, and which is more effective?
Well, it is also considered as display ads, so banners and affiliated marketing, right? So what Tabula does is it has a different network of partners, and he has quite an extensive model there, and they track using a lot of AI, artificial intelligence, to find out that, let's say example, if this is your target audience, they auto optimize it to many different platforms on different sites, right? There's interest targeting, there's many different demographic targetings. So that's how Tabula is. But Google Display Ads also can do the same thing. It's just that they're providing the same, just at different partners and different sites that they put into, right? So it's almost similar.
Right. Okay, let's move on to Azra Aisha. She's asking, many people are starting their business with social media account. When does it become necessary to have a website?
Social media account. Well, we have some clients who solely rely on their Facebook page. No website at all, micro businesses. And they do very well, 300,000 per year. Of course, websites gives you that like a credibility, you see, in order to go slightly larger scope or cover a slightly larger audience. So we have clients who have 10 websites, 20 landing pages, right? 30 conversion pages, so many of them, because it is like an analogy that I like to use. Let's say example, you go to Phuket, the beach. There's so many of the umbrellas and the drinks and heavy providers at the whole beach, right? Different umbrella colors and different beach sections. So you are there for 4 days. So today you say, okay, today I'm going to go to the pink section. You know, it's quite cozy, quite nice. Tomorrow I'm going to go to the green section. Go there. The day after I'm going to go to the blue section. Bored already. I went to the tool place yesterday. But actually, the whole beach, the site, is one owner. Right? It's all one owner. So basically, it's like if you put multiple websites and multiple landing pages, you capture more audience, and you have different value proposition, different style of your website, and different pages. So you can actually control that. Of course, the good thing about website is you control the content, what you want to publish. Right? For Facebook page and all, then you have your followers who will be, you know, like many of digital marketers will say, naysayers, or, you know, those haters. So they go and wak kacau, you know, comment badly and think nothing better to do. So I always believe that when you go deeper and deeper and you have higher followers and more fans, it will sooner or later become, you know, there will be some naysayers. There will be some people who are hating for no reasons, right? You can't please everybody. But having said that, yes, there are some people who just solely rely on social media platforms. So why not, right? If it works for you. So website, it's just a different channel, just one of the different channels.
All right. Let's address this from Yogesh. She is asking if she is to start digital marketing, which medium should she start with? Especially with a fixed budget, is it okay to just focus on one medium or cast the budget on multiple mediums, quantity or quality?
Definitely, I go for quality, right? So if you do very well in one channel first, right, you get to understand how to do it properly already. Then you can create the same funnel, right? And you have the data to compare already. Then you move into another channel. It could be like that, right? If you don't have, if you have minimal resources, it's always best to be able to focus, you know. But if you have, you know, extra time and you have some resources, some staff to support you, and a little bit more stretched budget, then of course, the more the barrier, right? Everybody can know you. The awareness side, remember the funnel that I spoke of? The awareness side will be parallel, will be more people who are aware of your brand and your product. So, of course, then you can go into quantity rather than quality. But for me, I'm a true believer in quality. That's why I said some people just focus on one channel, like one Facebook channel, and they make hundreds of thousands. It's okay. No, it's good for them.
Right. Okay, Irene Koo is asking, can you share the digital marketing framework with us?
Share the framework, like send it to you, or can I clarify this question? Share means like what I shared just now, the framework, the 3 phases.
Perhaps Irene could actually put in the live comments again to clarify your question. So how about we come back to Irene? So let's move on to Sheila. Sure. Is Google any social media platform offering price reduction during this COVID-19 crisis?
The answer is no, but Google recently did announce that they have this fund. I forgot how much, I think $20 million or something like that, to help the SMEs. So they're going to give out the credits, free credits out soon. But no promises. They haven't really updated us on the structure of how they're going to disperse this. But they are already, the top management of Google has already notified us that there will be some credits and relief to help people, to help the businesses. So stay tuned soon. Maybe follow our Trinity 42 Facebook page. Then once we know, we update on this.
Okay. We have one here from Puvana. For digital marketing in another country, would you recommend to engage a local agency or any online support?
Well, to be a perfectionist, of course, I would say to engage with the local agency. Let's say, example, if you want to target Vietnam, okay, and of course, many people say, oh, just use a Malaysian company and then target Vietnam. Yeah, so back then we did like that. So why we have a branch in Ho Chi Minh City now is because we can't just rely on English, because Vietnamese, majority of them speak Vietnamese, and the style of the characteristic of consuming those content is different also. Like, let's say example, a banner ad works in Malaysia, won't work in Vietnam, because their style, they prefer a lot of words and they prefer a different color scheme. So it's different. So of course, engaging a local agency is good. Like for our team in Vietnam, in Ho Chi Minh City, we have a lot of local clients. And of course, we help a lot of international clients, like Malaysian companies who are targeting Vietnam. So our local team there read, write, and brief Vietnamese digital marketing. So of course, it gives a little bit of boost. But our Malaysian team in HQ also will support this kind of campaigns. So on the top down, we have the strategy, and then the execution, we have the local team. So it will be a very good combination. But yes, to answer the question is, local, hyper local is always better.
Okay. Oh, okay. Irene actually said yes to because she asked, can you share the digital marketing framework with us?
Okay. Let me see. Share means send to you, is it? Well, I can send to the organizers. Maybe the organizers can share to. I think by the end of the session, probably I will drop in the email. Maybe if any one of you who wants to, get the slides or get a more specific explanation on certain section of the presentation, you can email me directly. So Christopher@PanPages.com. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Great. All right. Do we still have any questions from the live audience? You can still submit your questions in the Facebook live stream.
mobile ads or this Harjinder Singh, yeah?
Yeah.
Mobile ads or desktop ads, which drives higher engagement? Right. So engagement is quite a large word. So of course, in many sectors, we see that desktop still have quite a number of audience. So it's quite a number of traffic. But we do see the rise of mobile, right? In certain countries, let's say example like Vietnam, they skip the desktop. They go straight to mobile already. The whole country, they don't even have the desktop period. Like Malaysia, we had a desktop period for a couple of years. Then after that, we moved into mobile. So Vietnam straight away go to mobile. China, many of them go to mobile. So if you ask me, it depends on vertical, but mobile should be the way to go. Yeah, mobile should be the focus, right? Because especially like this kind of pandemic and all, after this, people will be stuck with the internet, the norm already. So my opinion is mobile.
Okay, we have one here, Supanut. Do you think consumers will be accustomed with purchasing online after the coronavirus? Should I invest more on digital marketing or stick back to retail?
I think with or without the COVID pandemic, you should have gone to digital marketing. But of course, with this COVID now, is worse. Okay, I used to, I just had a meeting with my management team like 2 weeks back. I think when we had the first 2 weeks of the restriction MCO, then we start to the lockdown. Then we start to brainstorm and say, hey, we've been using years and years to evangelize the importance of digital marketing. We had like Digital SME Day. We had thousands of SMEs coming. We got people from Lazada, Grab, Google, Alibaba, banks, and all to evangelize to tell them the importance of going digital. Of course, many SMEs say yes, it's good to have later and all. It was a very tough journey for us to get people to go online. However, then you see that with this pandemic now, we have overwhelming inquiries on a daily basis. My team of consultants is overwhelmed. It's like we're much more busy during the lockdown than before, because everybody is coming to us and saying, hey, I need to go online, I need to go online, I need to go online. How do we do this now? So the main driver, last time we used to think, is it the CEO? The CEO or the founder or the MD, the director of the company needs to drive digital transformation. And they thought, oh no, must be the chief technology officer, the CTO. But actually, no, now it's become COVID. The coronavirus became like the main driver of the digitization of businesses. So, Supernat, yes, you should invest more on digital marketing because it is going to be the new norm. It's never going to be the same anymore, right? It's never going to be the same. But I don't have a crystal ball. I cannot predict how it's going to be like, but definitely digital is the way to go.
Yes, I believe so too. Our 1 hour is nearly up, but I do think we can still answer one more questions from Cindy Chong. Those e-commerce categories that are not on demand right now, how do you suggest they create demand?
Well, okay. So example, like we see like food items or health products, supplements and all are the very high demand, right? If you do not have those demands now, it is a great time for you to create awareness. Okay, create awareness and all. So to let people know that during this kind of time, you have this kind of service that's suitable for people's life now, currently. Example, okay, like a health fitness equipment, gym equipment, right? So we see a lot of them nowadays. Like our clients, they do live stream workouts. So they help their customers and all. So now you cannot go to the gym. So they provide like a live stream to the coaches and all will teach you how to use HIIT, high intensive training, or your Zumba or your weight trainings and all, right? Online. But then you won't have the equipment, right? So they will send you probably like some resistance band and all. Then after that, they start to, there they promote. Okay, so if you want to buy this equipment, so you can go to this page, or you can go there to search for this stuff. So you can create demand, you see. Digital marketing is not just waiting to take the demand. It's about you creating demand, you generating demand in the public. You create those awareness first, right? By providing pain relievers and value gain creators. So these are what we call the value propositions, right? What are the values that you can help the people in the market now? So staying true to yourself and what you can really help the people with, then digital marketing is just a channel, it's just a platform for you to tell people who you are and what you do and how you're going to help people, right? So yeah, you can create demand.
Okay. Okay, that's about summing up for today. So if you have any questions we didn't get to today or think of any new questions, please contact Christopher at the email shown on the screen. And before we end the talk, Christopher, do you have anything else that you would like to address the audience?
Well, like my tagline of the last slide is, go on a data-driven digital performance marketing journey, right? If not now, when, right? So don't wait anymore. Just, you know, I still see some of the questions there, like, should we start digital marketing without websites? And all? Yes, just do whatever you can. One of my favorite online influencer, Gary V, he says this quote, I quote him, give, then only ask. So in digital marketing is you give content, you give educate people, you give them value first, you know, later on, you know, when you have the community, then you ask, say, hey, I also can do this, you see, right? So it is, no matter what pandemic or what, human beings have always survived, right? So we just need to be sure, you know, to continue to thrive, you know, and it's important for us to be able to, you know, stay true to what we can do to help people and support others. Then from there, you make a business out of it. You continue to leverage on those platforms to blast it out to the world. You know, that's where. But if your product or service is not good enough during whatever time, no digital channel, no digital marketing can help you do that, right? You'll be just selling something that you don't have. You know, so it's important to relook into the entire operations, look into your entire framework of the things, how you want to market your product. If it's needed, change your product to suit the people. Change it, modify it, right? Yeah, that's my aspect.
So thank you, Christopher, for the wonderful and very insightful presentation on digitization for your business. So on behalf of Enterprise Asia and Help University, thank you everyone for attending today's Room to Infinity live talk. So we hope to see you again next time. So have a great rest of the day. Bye.